Level 1. The offer. You get a text from a number you don't recognize. $5,000. One day. No questions. You almost delete it. Then you see the photo they sent. It's you. Same jaw, same height, same dark eyes. But the man in the photo is wearing a suit that costs more than your rent. You don't respond. They send another message. We already know your answer. Car arrives at 6 a.m. You don't sleep. At 5:58, a black Escalade parks outside your apartment building. The window rolls down. A man in a gray suit looks at you and simply says, "Good. You're close enough." You get in. Level 2. The briefing. The car doesn't take you to an office. It takes you to a private terminal at LAX. No security lines, no check-in, no questions. A woman in her 40s hands you a folder. Her name is Kira. She doesn't smile. Inside the folder is a face. Your face, but richer, harder, more controlled. His name is Elliot Hargrove, 43, net worth $4.2 billion, CEO of a defense logistics company you've never heard of. Kira explains it quickly, like it's nothing. There's a threat. Someone wants to hurt him. You walk in, you stand in, he moves safely. Simple. You ask how long? 24 hours. You ask what happens if something goes wrong. She closes the folder. Nothing goes wrong. You sign a document. 14 pages. You don't fully read it. You should have. Level 3. The transformation. They take you to a room in the terminal. A team of 6 people is waiting. Makeup wardrobe. A vocal coach. A mannerisms trainer. They spend 3 hours on you. They cut your hair exactly like his. They teach you how he walks left shoulder slightly forward, measured pace, never looks down. They drill his voice into you, lower register, slower. Every word lands. You practice his handshake. Firm, 2 pumps, hold eye contact for exactly 2 seconds after. They put you in a charcoal Brioni suit. Hand-tailored, weighs nothing, feels like armor. You look in the mirror. For a moment, you don't recognize yourself. And that's when you understand this is real. Level 4. The first appearance. The event is a closed-door summit at a hotel in downtown Chicago. 48 of the most powerful people in the private sector. Military contractors. Intelligence-adjacent consultants. Old money with new agendas. You walk in as Elliot Hargrove. No one flinches. Someone shakes your hand and says, "Elliot, Jakarta went better than expected." You nod slowly and say, "Good. We'll talk after the keynote." Just like they trained you. Kira is in your earpiece the whole time. She feeds you names, context responses. You repeat them like an actor who's memorized the script. Except the stakes aren't a performance review. You catch a man staring at you from across the room. Dark suit, no name badge. He doesn't look away. You tell Kira. She goes quiet for 3 seconds. Ignore him. Stay on script. You try, but he keeps watching. Level 5. The money changes you. By noon, you've been handed $100,000 of invisible authority. You've approved a meeting. Declined a handshake from a senator. Given a 5-minute speech about supply chain infrastructure. You're not stumbling. You're good at this. During a break, someone pulls you aside. He's old. Expensive watch. Rings on both hands. He leans in close and says, "Elliot, the Cyprus account. We need a decision today." Kira is silent. You pause and say, "I'll have my people contact yours by end of day." The man nods, satisfied. After he walks away, Kira says in your ear, "That was perfect. Do not ask me what Cyprus is." You don't ask. But the number in your head is no longer $5,000. You start wondering what Elliot Hargrove actually knows and what he's hiding. Level 6. The cracks. It's 3 p.m. when the real Elliot calls your handler. You can't hear the call, but Kira's face says enough. She pulls you into a private corridor. "There's been a change. The threat escalated. We need you at a second location tonight." You weren't told about a second location. You ask what kind of threat. She says, "The kind that ends careers." You ask if it ends lives. She doesn't answer. The man with no name badge is outside the corridor now. Just standing there, you ask Kira who he is. She finally tells you. He's one of ours. He's watching you. You feel something shift in your chest. You're not just the body double. You're the alibi. Whatever Elliot Hargrove is doing right now, in the real world, you are his cover story. And suddenly, $5,000 feels like a bribe, not a payment. Level 7, the second location. A car takes you to a lakefront property 40 minutes north of the city. No event, no crowd. Just a glass house, in the trees, lit from inside. 3 men wait in a room that looks like it costs more than some countries. No introductions. One of them slides a document across the table. He says, "We just need the signature tonight. The rest moves on its own." You look down at the paper. You don't understand all of it, but you understand enough. Weapons routing, reallocation of funds. A contract that ties Hargrove's company to a government operation that hasn't been publicly authorized. Your hand is shaking slightly. Kira is not in your ear. Your earpiece went dead 20 minutes ago. You are alone in a room with men who think you're a billionaire. And they need you to sign a document that could get people killed. Level 8, the choice. You pick up the pen. You hold it. The room is completely silent. You think about the money. The suit. The way it felt to walk into that summit and have people believe you. You think about your apartment. You think about the 14 pages you didn't read. You set the pen down. You say, "I need to speak with my counsel before I sign anything." One of the men looks at the other. A long pause. Then the first man nods and says, "Of course." But when he smiles, it doesn't reach his eyes. You feel it then. The temperature in the room didn't change, but something did. Level 9, the exit. That isn't one. They give you a private room to make your call. You try Kira. No signal. You try the number from the original text. Disconnected. You walk to the window. The Escalade that brought you here is gone. There's a different car in the driveway now, and the man with no name badge is leaning against it. He looks up at you. He's not watching to protect you anymore. You understand now. Elliot Hargrove didn't hire a body double to protect himself. He hired one because when this document surfaces, when the questions start, when the investigators come, someone was seen signing it. Someone with his face. And that someone is you. Level 10. The last 24 hours. You don't run. Running confirms everything. You go back into the room. You pick up the pen. You sign a name. But it's not Elliot Hargrove's name. It's yours. Your real name. The men in the room go still. You slide the document back and say, quietly, "Whatever this is, it has my name on it now, not his. So either you explain what I just signed, or it becomes a very different kind of problem." Silence. Then the older man laughs. Low, slow, like he's genuinely surprised. "He said you'd break," he says. "I told him you wouldn't." You wait. He leans back. "Welcome to the actual job. Final level the cycle. By midnight, you're back in Chicago. New number, new folder, new face inside. Kira is there. Earpiece, working perfectly. She hands you a coffee and says, 'You lasted longer than the last one.' You ask what happened to the last one. She doesn't answer. On the table in front of you is a new contract. 30 days. Not one. The number has 7 figures. You don't read all of it this time either, but you sign it. Because here's what 24 hours in someone else's life teaches you. Power doesn't care whose face it uses. It just needs a face willing to wear it.